Look at these two dashboards. On the left, the learning management system shows a flawless reality, 100% completion rates and 5-star reviews. On the right, the company's business intelligence data shows the opposite, stagnant sales and high turnover. A rigid wall separates the two. Those flawless LMS numbers are vanity metrics. A perfect score on a multiple-choice module tells us if a student can pass a test, but it reveals very little about their actual work performance. Focusing exclusively on completion rates measures knowledge transfer while ignoring behavioral application. It tracks who finished the course, not who improved the business. Unless a company has a baseline problem with employees refusing to train, pushing a completion rate to 100% has no mathematical correlation to revenue or growth. E-learning functions as a direct mechanism for business process optimization. It is a tool for fixing specific operational gaps. Proving a return on investment requires moving away from the reactive cycle of building new courses every time a problem arises. Instead, sustainable results come from a structured 18-month deployment timeline. This timeline moves through 3 distinct stages: auditing the existing infrastructure, calibrating materials to the actual workforce, and finally, measuring the outcomes against core business data. Organizational value is only captured when training data is permanently tied to business outcomes over an extended observation period. Month 0 is the diagnostic stage. This audit must occur before a single module is assigned to an employee. Before building content, L&D teams must diagnose the baseline operational chaos. This means identifying the bottlenecks that occur when a company relies on unstructured ad hoc mentorship. Take Company F as an example. They were expanding their sales force, but relied on senior reps to train new hires in their spare time, creating a haphazard and inconsistent onboarding process. To hit that target, every rep must score 90% on a proficiency test covering new market trends. At the bottom is the learning task. To score that 90%, the rep must successfully navigate a simulated client roleplay. This top-down architecture ensures instructional designers build targeted tasks that solve specific problems rather than generic content. It also provides the discipline to refuse training requests that do not map directly to a corporate KPI. By following this hierarchy, every click inside the LMS is anchored to the company's bottom line. Between months 3 and 6, the focus shifts to calibration. Attempting to calculate a financial return at this stage is premature because the system hasn't had time to affect long-term behavior. This phase serves as a testing ground for user calibration and behavioral tracking. Consider a company that launched a sleek micro-learning application for its sales team without a calibration phase. After 90 days, there was no change in sales performance. The deployment had resulted in 0 behavioral shift. The curriculum failed because it was calibrated to an average user profile that didn't actually exist in their building. Their workforce actually followed a bimodal distribution. They had a large group of inexperienced novices and a second group of highly skilled veteran executives. Because the training was designed for the middle of that curve, it missed both groups. It was too advanced for the beginners and too simplistic for the veterans. The solution was to modularize the content, mapping it precisely to those 2 distinct experience profiles. L&D teams must use this 6-month window to collect feedback and adjust the difficulty of the material to match the actual users. This active calibration replaces the habit of simply waiting for completion rates to hit 100%. Without this adjustment period, even the most expensive platforms will fail to produce measurable behavioral change. Isolating the impact of training from seasonal sales variables and economic shifts requires a long-term data set. By the 12 to 18-month mark, these fluctuations smooth out, revealing the actual business results of the initiative. To translate that impact into a quantifiable return, we use the Kirkpatrick model. Level 1 measures how employees feel about the training, while Level 2 measures what they learned, usually through test scores. While these levels are vital, they only confirm that the employee received the data. They don't track how they used it. Level 3 tracks behavior. It measures the real-world application of knowledge through supervisor interviews and direct observation, such as monitoring sales calls. Finally, Level 4 measures results. This is where documented behavioral changes are translated into corporate revenue. In a case study of a struggling call center, the company identified poor product knowledge as the cause of their low closure rates. They deployed targeted training to address that specific knowledge gap. By tracking the reps through the Kirkpatrick levels, the company could see the trainees applying that new knowledge on live calls. The results were clear. Deal closure rates doubled, jumping from 40 to 80%. This is a hard financial metric. It provides the proof that vanity metrics can never offer. A true quantifiable ROI is only achieved when behavioral change creates a measurable shift in a primary business metric. This 18-month framework dissolves the wall between learning data and business performance. The sequence is clear. Audit the system to eliminate chaos, calibrate content for specific users, and measure the results against hard outcomes. Treating corporate training as a temporary fix for immediate problems will always result in a return of zero. E-learning analytics provide a window into operational health. By tracking how training changes core behaviors, they show how effectively the business is functioning. When training is architected this way, the data provides a diagnostic look at the company's most valuable resource, its people.